Welcome to Blood in the Snow Radio, where we give you the latest news and interviews with the best in Canadian genre cinema. Here are your hosts, Robert Bellamy and Festival Director Kelly Michael Stewart.
Blood in the Snow 2023 continues, and I have this lovely lady in front of me. If I get you to introduce yourself, please.
Yeah, hi, I'm Julie Bruns. I am the co-director, writer, and I act in the short film Blink, which played at the festival this year.
Yes, that one intrigued me because it's such an interesting little idea just to start the whole... Where did that come from?
Oh gosh, so we actually did Blink as part of a 48-hour film competition back in Vancouver called Run and Gun. And basically the way that works is they give you 3 surprise elements. This year it was 4 for a twist. But a few days before it started, I can't remember what I was doing, but I had the opening line of I stabbed my husband to death 27 minutes ago and he won't stop blinking. And I just was like, what a fun idea. I hope we get elements that line up with something like that. That would be cool. And then, we ended up getting elements that felt like they really slotted in perfectly. So away we went.
Excellent. And how did you do in that festival?
We did really well. We got into finals. We got a nice handful of nominations. It was a good time.
Excellent. Because those are always fun because they put you under the pressure and it really shows creative juices.
Oh, yeah. I love it. I think I haven't missed a single run and gun since the competition's been running back in Vancouver. So now I feel if I miss one, it's like it's an actual decision I have to make, which is too much pressure. Got to just keep doing them.
Well, how many festivals has this one been in so far?
Oh, gosh. I have not been counting. We drove down to Portland to go to the Portland Film Festival. We've done Hamilton and Halifax and Terror in the Bay. And Vancouver Badass Film Festival. There's been a few. I need to add them up.
That's good though.
Yes.
And it's been received well.
It's at least for the screenings we've been able to make it to. It's such a fun film to watch with an audience. I go and sit in the back of the theaters and just after seeing it a million times through the edit and everything. Now I just sit and kind of like quietly watch the audience and listen to the reaction. And I love a good film that gets people like giggling or gasping and yeah.
Excellent. And is this your first time in Bits?
This is my 3rd time.
Oh.
Yeah, but it's my first time at the festival in person. The other 2 years were when it was the virtual festival. So
okay.
Fantastic to actually be here this time.
Which ones had you put in?
We had our first one was The Pergamentum, which was a horror about a marine biologist in the Pacific Northwest who gets a very strange noise coming through her microphone and brings in an underwater technician, and things go very poorly.
I remember that one vividly.
And then there's Pro Renata, about a woman who is going through her mom's old storage locker, and her mom has dementia, and she uncovers things about her mother that she wished she hadn't found.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. And how long have you been filming? What...
Oh, gosh. So I got into the industry first and foremost as an actor about 9-10 years ago. And then I guess I then got into kind of producing. I started associate producing on a film competition actually called Crazy Eights back in Vancouver. And I did that for 2 and a bit years. And then I've always been a writer, day job. And so that kind of came in naturally. And then directing, I suppose I've been doing that for 6 years or so. 7 years, yeah.
Have you noticed, I don't know, Friends and all that, but isn't that how everybody starts in the film industry is acting? It's like, I want to be an actor.
It's true. I mean, it's still my first and foremost love. But yeah, I think nothing makes you a better actor than getting to go and put on all those hats and learn about what it is to put all the pieces of a film together. So.
Oh, and the more you know.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I think your acting gets better. Being on set is a lot more fun when you know what everybody's doing and yeah.
What made you decide to put on the director's hat?
I think it kind of feels like it sometimes just goes naturally hand in hand with acting. It's kind of 2 sides of a similar coin. I always am kind of like, oh, the director is the head of department when you're an actor. So it feels kind of natural. And then just, yeah, I think I've always been very visual. I remember like as a kid, I'd listen to a song and see images in my head. And so, yeah, getting to kind of bring images out of my head and kind of put them into a story felt like a ton of fun. There's something very surreal about kind of writing a script and imagining it in your head and then ending up on set. And it's like, oh my gosh, it's like I've pulled something out of my imagination. It's the weirdest feeling.
Now, usually when you're an actor, you have your director, and they're the ones that guide you and kind of push you and pull things out of you. Now that you're directing yourself, do you find that limits you, or does that open you up more?
I think so. First of all, I'm very lucky in that a lot of my most of my stuff is co-directed with my partner, Stephen Kammerer, who is also a fantastic director in his own right. And it's really lovely now that we've done it a lot, because we kind of have that little shorthand that you get from like working with a person for a long time, where it's just little looks and we'll both look at each other and we'll be like, no, that wasn't it. One more. On the projects that I have directed myself solely, again, it all kind of goes back to the team and how wonderful they are. Yeah, there's definitely something a little bit limiting about, you can only physically be in one space at a time. But also with
space as well.
Oh, definitely. I mean, also I think it's just like with experience and getting used to it. It's a skill that comes with time, hopefully.
Yes. So you find you're excelling doing both?
I really enjoy it. I mean, I think it depends on the project. I also, when I get the opportunity to collaborate with a director on a different kind of project, I find like that's really exciting for me these days, because it's a merging of the minds. And like, I do always feel like, I mean, making a film is like 100 people painting a picture holding the same paintbrush, which just leads to this incredible product that is, everybody's fingerprints are on it, And so working with a director who's coming in with like a different idea and different thoughts and different style and stuff than me, it's such a fun opportunity as an actor to just, play in these, be invited into these different like spaces to play in ways that, I wouldn't necessarily direct myself to.
Excellent. So would you, if you had to make that ultimate choice, would you prefer more to work with directors or as a director?
Ooh, I mean, acting's always been my first love, so
yeah,
I think that's my favorite thing to do on set is act.
Fair enough. But now, have you got anything coming up that you've been working on?
Gosh, I've had a number of things that just came out. We just released a web series called The Eviction, which is a comedy about getting evicted. And I've been told it's the scariest thing I've ever done.
Oh, really?
It's a comedy. But I mean, housing is real.
Yes.
I also just wrote and voice acted in an episode of a horror anthology podcast called Cabin Tales. And I wrote the episode Sea Siren, and I think we hit number, I think it was 56 in fiction dramas in Canada.
Oh, nice.
And so that was really fun. That was awesome. Really fun project. Really, again, like working with a different director, and that was just like so much fun to collaborate in a different direction and get into podcasts, audio dramas.
Yeah, I was just going to say, that's a whole different medium. What's
fun
that compared to film? Because, you have your body language and how that, this is literally just your voice.
Oh, it was a ton of fun. So I've been working in voice acting, getting more and more involved in that. But I was also invited to write that episode. And honestly, it was the most fun as a writer, because as a writer, writing indie film, you're always like, okay, what can we do? What can we afford? What can we do this?
No space battles.
I got that. And it's like, it's all just, you create it with sound. So I'm like, well, it's on an abandoned cruise ship, of course. We're going to do something I could never afford to film right now.
That is true.
So, yeah, no, it was wonderful.
You're limited by sound.
Yeah, and I'm such a dark fantasy nerd, so I'm over here thinking, ooh, what else can we do?
Yeah, is there any more thoughts on venturing in that area?
Oh, absolutely. I'd love to do a dark fantasy podcast.
Yes.
Definitely have some thoughts, some stuff in the works.
Oh, excellent. So what's next for Blink?
We are waiting to hear back from a few more festivals. I need to look up if I've got any imminently coming up. But then, yeah, I feel like I really enjoyed this story. I'm kind of like almost want to challenge myself to sit down and explore it and see if I'm determined to like work on getting into features this year. So I'm like, could this be what I want to do? We shall see.
How long is the festival circuit for you? Like a lot of people sometimes say, okay, if we release it October 2nd, 92, October 2nd, 93 is the end of the festival run.
Yeah, I think it kind of, for us, has varied with every film we've done. We did a lot of films during the pandemic, kind of where it was like schedules were a bit, it was new times for everybody. So I think this is like kind of one of the first films that we're having a normal, quote unquote, festival run with it. But yeah, I feel like a year is a good amount of time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there any plans for it after that?
Yeah, hoping to get it up on a few little streamers maybe, and then, like I said, work on developing it maybe into something longer.
That's okay, because I always ask that question with shorts, because that's the one thing I hate about festivals is you see all these amazing short films that just seem to disappear. Yeah,
I mean, there's definitely a large handful of shorts that I've seen over the years that I have been like, I want to see more of that. So yeah, I think given the opportunity, it'd be great to do the feature version.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to sit here and chat.
Oh, thank you.
And you are welcome back anytime you would like.
Brilliant.
All right,
hopefully see you soon.
Thank you.
Join us next time for Blood in the Snow Radio. Bits Radio is a production of Three Evil Cats Productions in association with the Blood in the Snow Canadian Film Festival. For more information and to listen to other episodes, visit bloodinthesnow.ca and tweet us at BitsFilmFest. Music by Jan Gorman, produced and edited by Kelly Michael Stewart. I am Eduardo Correa Lima.